In 1960, President Kennedy captivated our collective imagination with the new frontier. This bold vision proposed the unfathomable notion of putting a man on the moon. Now, it took 9 years, but when Apollo 11 transmitted those first images taken from space, it forever changed our relationship to the planet that we call home. Surely you have seen them. A beautiful, delicate, singular orb, luminescent green-blue without the imaginary lines of nationhood. One world unfractured by distinctions of race, religion, ethnicity, or sexual preference. It is no wonder that in 1970, less than a year after the giant leap, we celebrated the first Earth Day, established the EPA, made major amendments to the Clean Air Act, and 2 years later, passed the Clean Water Act. We were galvanized into action by a vision bigger than ourselves. Our consciousness shifted. A critical mass of individuals worldwide imagined a better version of ourselves as stewards of a shared planet. But this proved to be a fragile revolution. 50 years after the first Earth Day, we find ourselves in a wicked paradox. While humans have fallen ill, Mother Nature has shown signs of emergent well-being. The skies have cleared. For the first time in decades, the Himalayas have become visible on the Indian horizon. Since Italy went into lockdown, NO2 levels in Milan have fallen by 40%. Los Angeles has seen a 30% decrease in PM 2.5, a form of pollution composed of particles smaller than a strand of human hair that cause lung disease and heart ailments. Earth Systems professor Marshall Burke estimates that the decrease in PM 2.5 likely saved 77,000 lives in China alone. The Venice canals are resplendently aglow. Sheep crowd the crosswalks of Scotland, and traffic levels in Britain are equivalent to 1955. The price of oil crashed because literally there is no place to store the surplus. We're not using it. Certainly, a global pandemic is not a long-term moral solution to our planetary dis-ease. The loss of human life is not an environmental strategy. How do we leverage this inflection point for our collective benefit to re-envision a sustainable tenancy on this planet while also honoring the disparity of human experiences in this moment? Many are sick, some are dying, some are on the front lines, many have lost work, and others are hunkered down in a coerced monasticism, vacillating between anxiety and the epiphany that less may be more. Of those who have paid the ultimate price, the data is showing that they are also disproportionately the most vulnerable amongst us, toiling in essential jobs that cannot be done on Zoom. My instinct tells me that in order to right ourselves, the world will need to endure a lot of pain, and that pain will not be evenly distributed when nature collects its debt. But is there a degree of suffering that we all must endure to ensure the health of the planet and our viability on it? Can the world endure hundreds of millions unemployed in service of right-sizing the Chinese coal industry, factory farming, ExxonMobil, Aramco, Coca-Cola, Nestle, McDonald's, and others that contribute to unsustainable practices? Can we sacrifice individually the convenience of fast food, overnight shipping, whimsical travel, and pre-packaged everything? Can we find the will to upturn the systems and structures that have desecrated the earth in the name of commercial profits? Can we honor those who have passed through the instantiation of a new world story that breaks the narrative that we exist separate from nature? Can we reapply the notion of growth from corporate top line to human happiness? If we grapple with these sacrifices now, both small and large, individual and collective, can we avert the looming cataclysms of environmental breakdown? No matter how challenging this moment, this suffering cowers in the impending menace of drought and starvation, fire and flood, mass migration and war that an overexploited planet promises. Today, we stand on the edge of a new frontier. However, we seek not the stars, but an inner reckoning. We must now do the soulful work of determining our true needs and sources of fulfillment, to revise everything from our global economy to our simple daily pleasures, and to manifest this discovery with profound acts of conscience, creativity, and sacrifice in service of humanity and our planet. On this 50th Earth Day, we bend this refrain for our new frontier. Ask not what your planet can do for you. Ask what you can do for your planet.